Welcome back to another video. If I seem a bit odd, I tore something in my neck wrestling with my nieces and nephews. I forget that they're now like 10 years old, and one jumped on the back of my head and I heard a pop and a crunch, and I haven't, that's it. That's all I got. So we're making the best with what we got. I've been wanting to make this video for about a week. Weather's so-so, sun's kind of going down, but it isn't. So we're gonna make it. We're putting the car back to stock, sort of. Many of you know I am prepping to get rid of the car. It's been a glorious 4 and a bit years. I've enjoyed every single minute and every single mile and every experience, and everything about this car has been amazing. So I wanted to make sure I spent an adequate amount of time to pass the torch on to a new owner and they get a proper vehicle in return. I didn't want it to be, well, I threw the foam insert for the trunk out, so now the board in the back kind of sags. No, I wanted everything to actually go back together properly. I've taken it apart 100 times, so I'm very familiar with how these cars go together, so I took the time. It actually ended up being about 20 hours of my time to fix, remove, do whatever I needed to do. I took the wheel spacers out, so this is what the 1LE rims fit like without spacers. Good, but not as good. The lightning bolts will be coming off. Top Hat Plus stuff will be coming off. I'm leaving the back spear. I did end up putting the OEM wing back on, and it kind of works with the spears. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave that. The dealership doesn't like it, they can take it off. Spacers, some people love them, some people don't. So I took them out. That way there's no arguing safety or personal opinion. Obviously, side skirts, front splitter, and canards are pop riveted to the body. So those will stay. The new owner will get a pretty sweet little aero kit to kick off ownership. The Stow and Show license plate bracket, I am going to remove it. It's just pop riveted to the bottom. So the pop rivet holes will be there for a future owner if they wanted to. I have a brand new license plate bracket for the grill. It will be in the trunk, and I will be very specific that whoever buys this car get the option to drill holes. Beyond that, we're going to leave the blue bow ties because the gold underneath is kind of lame. It's a little weird, the car being back to being this stock. I took the hitch off, I took the wiring out. I've pretty much stripped everything out of the car except for the dash cam. The dash cam obviously is just a precaution. Ignore some of the stuff in there. The wing's still in there. That's just a precaution. I didn't really do anything to the interior of this car to need to be removed, except for the trunk, of course, which we'll get into in a second. Just got a brand new brake job. I did end up putting the factory mufflers back on. Oh, I just took a mad stick to the head. Oh, I can't move my neck, so that hurt even more. We haven't connected them yet. I thought it was a 3-inch pipe because the MBRP is a 3-inch pipe. That was just a miscalculation on my part, so I am waiting to order some clamps to put the exhaust box together. But it does sound pretty friggin' rowdy with it being chopped off near the rear axles. So, but actually the exhaust still works too. It just tings a little bit because it kind of moves around. But it is on stealth mode, for those that are wondering. I've been keeping it on stealth mode just for kicks. Owned the car 4 years, never done it, so I thought, you know what? Before we get rid of it, we'll experiment. So the trunk is currently full of stuff, mostly OEM parts, aftermarket parts. That is my Rotofab intake, and there's some clothes and things I change into when I get to job sites and leave job sites. But it is fully back to stock. All the wiring's been removed except for the dash cam, which may take me another, I don't know, let's say 20-25 minutes to remove from the car. Catch cans removed, the little PCV angle thing that they put in there, it's all back. This car is pretty much the way I got it. The only thing it really needs is a set of tires. It could use a proper 305 in the rear, 285 in the front, to give it a really good stance and setup, and the rubber on it is getting a little low. But I'm obviously not going to go drop $1,000 or $1,200 in tires at the end of a season when I'm getting rid of the car. But yeah, that's it. I wanted you guys to know kind of what I did to prep the car to get rid of, and know that, like, I thought, and I was a little upset to do so, I have a tendency to get a little emotionally attached to things, get a little personal about how they are to me and the moments that they expressed in my life. This car has a million great memories, but it also has some absolute tragedies, none of which you guys know about and none of which you will ever hear about. But it's that double-edged sword. And when I stripped the parts, it felt like a relief. It was like, you know what, as much as I've loved every minute, my life has changed and things have changed. And the vehicle I have on order, which I'm going to get an allocation for soon so they can actually build it, but it's going to signify the next step. And I'm hoping to push myself into different markets and grow the channel a lot more, because Top Hat Plus is not a Camaro. Top Hat Plus is me, and this is my Camaro, as well as my Harley, which you guys have seen and has done very well on the channel. Next will be a truck, so we're going to do the Top Hat Plus truck. We've got a whole list of things, MBRPs on board, like, it's going to be absolutely amazing. But the car did go back to stock. It runs great. It's a stock-ish Camaro, but way cooler than when I bought it, of course. I am leaving the roof stripes as well. Again, like, nobody's going to know I did this. They're just going to think somebody had it done. So I figured if it looks that good, then I might as well just leave it. I mean, the bumper on it's pretty much brand new. The headlights are pretty much brand new. They've got like 6,000 K or something since I had a whole new bumper put on the front, because it got mounted by a Yukon while I was at work. Not a little bit out of my control, but the rest of it's in great shape. It's got new canards, splitter, and the splitter's got some wear and tear. It's 2 and a bit years old. Aside from that, it's just been an amazing car. So I wanted to pass the torch on properly. I wanted to have that emotional separation of me kind of putting it back to pass on terms, because it's hard to trade in cars that don't pass safeties to dealerships. They don't like that at all. So here's what it is. I just thought I'd share with you guys this car going back to stock. Before we move on, there is no set date on when this car is going to leave my possession. I haven't talked numbers yet. I'm just prepping, because at some point this is all going to transpire, and I assume once it does, it's just going to be like, hey, vehicle's here Monday, Camaro's gone Wednesday, and the new vehicle is Wednesday afternoon, and I'm out bombing around doing other stuff. I even had it this morning. I was out quoting a job. Yeah, hey, can you pick me up a toilet, do this, that, and the other? And I'm like, unfortunately, today, no, I can't. In the near future, there's a good possibility. So, on to different things. I would say bigger and better, but this car was amazing, and I will miss it every day until I get myself back into a Corvette. And I will never buy another Camaro. This was my Camaro. I experienced the Camaro. I was one of the first. I pioneered a lot of the different things we do in them now. But I'm done with the Camaro. I've dreamt of a Vette since I was 3 years old. I dreamt of the Vette the day I picked this up. And the whole time I've owned this, all I thought was, man, if I had a Vette. So, guess where we're going? We're going straight into the Vette. And I know it's been a little optimistic, but we're going to grow the channel. We're going to hit 100,000 subs. We're going to have 2 vehicles, not just one. And I'm not going to have to daily drive. I'm not going to have to mow through the winter and tow and do everything else that I had to do. My next vehicle is going to truly be a toy, and I'm going to love it and treat it as such. It will be stored indoors. It will have a totally different life than this car had. But that's a testament to this car. This car has done a flawless job, and I have enjoyed every minute of owning it. And it was never intended for what I put it through. So kudos to GM, kudos to the engineers. I couldn't say enough great things about the Camaro, the community, the group of guys that I've gotten to know, you guys joining the channel, what it provided me and my vision and sharing my art and ideas and visions and whatever. Like, I feel like a bit of a broken record because we've been talking about this for years, but it's been an amazing ride because of you guys. And I just had a vision and stuck to it, and this is where we are. And now somebody else is going to get a piece of my vision, and they're going to do their thing with it, which makes me really happy. I'm sure somebody's going to pick it up. Maybe they got some kids or something, and they're going to see this and go, Dad, look at this craziness. And they're not wrong. It's pretty wild, and someone's going to get a hell of a good deal. She does have 2 crash claims on it. That's out of my control. Over $36,000 in insurance repairs. Again, out of my control. Repair companies kind of hosed my insurance company. Had nothing to do with me. I waited 3 months for my car and had no vehicle for 3 months. So you can imagine my excitement. So somebody is going to save because of that, and they're going to get a newer car with a newer front end and newer headlights and less wear and tear and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And canards are newer and blah, 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 blah. I just put these 1LE replicas. So now they're going to be going to a new home, and I know it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really neat to see where this car goes, and if I ever see it again, who knows? It might end up at the auction and end up in another part of the country and somebody else's YouTube channel. You never know. So that's it for me. What do you guys think? Any last minute videos or content or things you want to know about the car before I get rid of it? I might go over fuel economy because I've got a trip meter that's almost 60,000 K. We'll see what I've actually averaged over the lifetime of the car. She's been a great girl, and I'm real happy with her. Till next time, drive safe, take care, and behave, as always.